Nearly half of all homicides in Utah are domestic violence related, and 1 in 3 women in Utah will experience some form of abuse. So as a part of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we are sitting down with Jen Campbell, who is the executive director for the Utah Domestic Violence Coalition. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about this new program that you guys have put together.
Sure. Well, the Utah Domestic Violence Coalition, really our mission is to end domestic violence, and we do that through education, advocacy, and policy work. And one of those areas, as we've been looking through how we can help our state and how we can help everyone really fulfill the goal that everyone can stop violence, is helping employers recognize that they're employing individuals that are impacted by domestic violence. And how do they do so safely and ensure that that person can stay employed and really get the financial help that they need as navigating something that's really hard in their lives.
This is a really innovative concept. I think for outsiders, they may think, well, what does an employer have to do with this? Tell us a little bit on what kind of support they can provide.
Yeah, well, first of all, starting with 1 in 3, and if you think about how many people you're employing, that potentially could be a third of your workforce that's impacted by domestic violence. But also talking to survivors, between 77 to 88% have talked about that the person using violence against them really tries to stop them from being employed, because that isn't giving them options and choices and financial independence, which threatens that person who's really using violence against them. And so what we want employers to be able to do is recognize that when you're spending over 40 hours at a workplace, that person will trust and come forward and tell you things about how they need help. We're not expecting employers to be all the solution or answer to that, but really to be ready for that when that happens, to know how to respond appropriately and to get that person to get some help and services.
Aside from an employee just straight out saying, I am in an abusive relationship, what are some other signs that employers should look for? Because it's not an easy conversation to have with anyone, let alone with your boss.
Absolutely. So you're right. Recognizing and knowing what it is important, but also seeing some of the tactics that people can use violently towards someone who's employed. Stalking, showing up at that person's workplace, interfering with their ability. If you see a coworker who suddenly, or an employee who suddenly isn't going to their meetings, isn't making it on time to work, isn't doing those pieces, instead of some of our first reactions is they don't want to be here, we ask why. You know, be ready and ask some questions. Say that you're noticing the change in the way they're behaving or working, and if there are ways that they could help them stay employed. And often that opens an opportunity for someone to say, this is what's happening to me and I need help.
What are some things employers should consider when trying to support an employee that is going through this, trying to get out of a dangerous situation?
Yeah, I always start with their policies and procedures. Understand them. Understand what you have in place, and if you do have policies that are responsive. If you don't, we're happy to talk about some policies that help people stay employed. But also train your HR, your human resources department, to know what this is, to recognize it. Also train the supervisors and your employees as a whole to recognize that your organization sees domestic violence is happening, knows that there are resources and help. And that's really what we're trying to do with this program, to offer support so organizations can do that and do it successfully.
What are some new policies that you've come across with new employers that you say, oh, I wish every company would do this?
Yeah, some of those pieces are looking at leave. So understanding that if an employee is looking for time off or needs time off, getting a protective order takes about 8 hours.
Wow.
And so if we think about that, that's a Monday through Friday time frame for someone to get help and support. How do we have a better conversation? The other piece is even direct deposit. So we've had people who are in shelters and their direct deposit is going to their abuser because they're too worried to come in and request a change of that deposit form. So just creating, I think, more avenues for conversation so that survivors feel like they don't have to start that, but that the employer is actually laying a groundwork of safety and saying, what are ways that we can be more helpful to you? Changing times that they work, changing their work schedules if they need it, even having, looking at security of their walking out to their car and can we have someone be out there? These are all little changes, not drastic, but would be impactful for someone to stay employed.
Little changes that could make a huge difference for those employees. Jen, I know we're running out of time, but where can people find more information before we wrap?
Sure. You can email us at uadv@udvc.org, or you can call our link line, 1-800-897-LINK. Ask for information on this, and we're happy to connect you with some services and programs and support.
All right, Jen Campbell, thank you so much for joining us and talking about this very important topic.
You bet. Thanks for giving us a space to do so.
Absolutely.